So now we're going to try to find a deal that works for you. So you're going to be getting deals sent to you all over the place from all kinds of different brokers because you will have reached out to those brokers. A lot of people talk about this in the single family world as the 1% rule. And I kind of do the same thing, but it's going to vary very, very wildly. So the 1% rule basically for me says if the average rents on that property across all the different units, but the average rent per unit on the property I'm looking at is $1,000. If the price per door is somewhere between $95,000 and $105,000, which is close to 1%, to me it kind of works. It's worth at least looking further into. So that's what I mean by the 1% rule here. Again, depends on what your loan is going to be, though. Your loan can completely torpedo that. So just because something hits the 1% rule, again, that's a starting point. It still may not work as a deal at all. But at least now I know that, okay, this one is worth pursuing. So once I find something that meets that 1% rule, I'm going to check the property out itself. You're going to get sent some pictures, a website by the broker that says, hey, here's this beautiful property that is it's a screaming deal. You need to own it. If you just go by the pictures they send you in this little glossy thing that they're going to send you through email, bad idea, really bad idea. And this goes back to trying to find a property that's close to where you live because you need to get to these properties on a regular occasion right after you take over to make sure everything's getting off the ground properly. But it starts before that. You get an email sent to you with a property in that email and you go, okay, 1% rule checks out. Oh, the pictures, this is a beautiful property. I've done that before. And then when I went and actually drove the property because I was about to make an offer on it, it was the scariest neighborhood I've ever been in my life, and I'm not exaggerating. There were wild dogs running the street off leash. There were cars on blocks. There was a lot of unsavory foot traffic. I did not feel safe there during the day. So don't just take their word for it, their marketing pictures, get the address, drive the property. If you still think it's a good property, okay, 1% rule cleared, the property feels good to you, it looks kind of like what you expected it to look like, if not better, hopefully. That doesn't usually happen, but hopefully it looks better than you thought. The next thing you're going to be doing now, after you clear those two, you express interest with the broker and say, look, I think I want to look at this property. So you're going to sign what's called a confidentiality agreement or a CA that you're going to do online usually. Most of these guys will allow you to do it digitally. Once you do that, they're going to send you the financial packet. They're going to send you a T12, which is a trailing 12-month P&L statement. They're going to send you a rent roll. We're not going to get into a lot of detail right now as to how to underwrite or assess that deal. You are going to be putting together your budget of what you think it's going to cost to run this property and what you think the income will be on this property. Some of the income numbers are going to be taken straight from the broker, but then you have to verify those numbers. Don't just take it straight from them. You're going to do your own market survey. So what you're going to do is you're going to drive the neighborhood. You're going to go act like you're trying to rent an apartment from one of these other properties. You want to look at how it looks, what the finish out is. Do they have granite? Do they have stainless steel? Are they just using regular laminate countertops like a Formica type thing? Are all the appliances mismatched? Is the color, is it all white? You're trying to see the condition of your competitors, your potential competitors in this market. You want to see what their market rents are, because that's going to help you kind of pull together your assessment as to whether or not this deal makes sense. Again, if you just take the numbers supplied to you by the broker and the way they think you're going to be able to run this property from a financial standpoint, bad idea. Do your own research. Take what they've given you, do your market survey, see if your market survey supports what they've said. If so, great. If not, you need to make the adjustments you need to make. And then if all that still checks out, so again, 1% rule was good, the property physically looked good, you did your market survey and did your underwriting to make sure your numbers feel good, everything checks out, well, now you're going to make your letter of intent. So your letter of intent is basically, again, that first volley, if you will, that you're going to say, look, this is what I propose to pay you for the property. This is how much earnest money I'm going to have. This is how long I foresee it taking to close the property. And hopefully your offer gets taken. If your offer gets accepted, then you go through actually negotiating the final purchase price of the property. That's it.